Hi everyone, today I want to share an indicator I made in Thinkorswim. It's called a pre-market volume comparison. So it's this green line I have at the bottom. This is what I use to look at the stock trading in pre-market and to see how active it is compared to the stock's previous pre-market trading. So for example, we had a K-Web, so some Chinese internet ETF, and China stock has been really active since last week. So usually it's trading very low volume, and since last week it was much higher, and I was trading on this day and this day. So these are the criteria I use for stock selection. It has to trade much more active than previous range. So here on this day I would trade it because it was much higher than before. But then the next day I may not trade it because it's actually lower than previous day. But this day I'll trade it again because it's more active, way more active than before. So this is how I use it. I think I have traded a NEO this week for similar reasons. So I traded on this day because although it was getting more active than before since last week, but this is the day is super active, so I traded, and the pattern is really clean on that day because the stock is super active. Today is also pretty active than previous day, and you can see it's if I pull up to the 1 minute chart. Yeah, NEO is active, clean pattern. The moment I make a new low, it just keep going down, right? So so that's how I use it for stock selection. So I want to show you just how I did it. If I open edit studies, okay, let me open this one. Let me maximize this and then look at the studies. I have this section. So basically, I mark out when the pre-market begins. It's 1 a.m. Pre-market ends at 9:30, which is the market open time, and market close at 4 p.m. Then I look at the seconds from time since market end, see whether it's a post-market or pre-market, and then I was tracking the volume, keep adding the volume if it's in the pre-market, and once market opens, I don't add more volume, and once it's after market close, I'll reset to 0. So if market close, post-market, reset to 0. I do this for the volume, and I don't just look at volume, but also consider the stock price. So I multiply by VWAP, so that's the dollar amount, and then it's going to be a pretty large number, so I divide by 1 million. So that's showing me how much $1 million is traded in pre-market. So you can take a pause to take this code. And then what you get is waves like this. So in the pre-market, it goes up because as we're trading, it accumulates more pre-market volume. Once the market opens, I don't count that anymore because I'm using this indicator just for pre-market preparation. And then once the market closes, I reset this indicator back to 0. And I'm not counting the post-market volume. When the next day starts, do the same thing, accumulate in the pre-market, flat during intraday, and then reset to 0. And then I have this as a number of shares times stock price. That will give me the dollar amount. So how many dollars? And I divide it by 1 million. So that's telling me how many million. So easy to look at this. I know, okay, on this day, NEO is trading $153 million on this stock, right? Today it's trading $90 million. So I use this to guide how active the stock is and how much liquidity, because sometimes you do have a lot of volumes but the stock price is really cheap, so the dollar amount is not very high. So let's look at, I traded Tesla today. Tesla had delivery numbers out, and you can see it's much more active than previous days. It was trading 1,000, right? 1,000 million. So it's $1 billion traded in the pre-market, and that's gonna be the stock I'm trading today. Yeah. So here again we have this indicator. I'm using it so that it's easy for me to compare. When I see Tesla is getting this much in pre-market, I gotta be trading it. It's so obvious, right? Today I also have other stocks like Nike. So Nike, I think it was a little bit choppy. So previously there's a 1 day very active. That's when they announced the new CEO. So it was super active. I traded that day, and it was clean path, open, then right flush down. Today I feel like it's very kind of choppy, and I kind of know that because the volume is lower. Although it had earnings today, right? But the volume is lower than that day. That feels like me. Okay, then today is less significant than this day. So if it trades really well on this day, you may not have the same clean trend today. So I'm aware of that. Although it was much higher than previous days, but compared to the recent new CEO announcement, it was lower volume. And that's making me a little bit, I'm not going to give it like an A+ setup, because the volume is not quite what I like, right? So that's how I'm using it, compare with some ranges in the past and see the relative volume. Also, give me the absolute number in dollar amount. So I'm using both to rate my stock selection. Thank you. That's it for today. Hope this indicator can be helpful to you as well.